If you have been a committed listener to the Candace show, if you have been following this lawsuit through me, then you should understand why they dropped those parts of the lawsuit and then dropped the lawsuit in its entirety against the New York Times. Because I'll tell you why it's perfectly understandable, because of history, because of American history. The New York Times is an extension. It is a publishing arm of the CIA. They have been an arm of the CIA probably since its inception, to be honest, but we know at least since Operation Mockingbird. The big thing was the shooting of JFK. That is when they started coining that term conspiracy theorist, was to get people to stop asking questions about this shooting, probably because they were covering their own crime, okay? And one of the things that they did to try to settle down the public, to try to control public perception, was that they put journalists and entire publications on their payroll. One of the people that contributed was Arthur Solzenberg, who heads up the New York Times. Why that's so relevant, and you should really remember this going forward. It is quite literally, and forget how you feel about Trump, it is quite literally fake news. Maybe it's not even fake news, it's state news. The New York Times is effectively the publishing arm of the CIA, which means that Justin Baldoni just tried to sue the CIA, okay? Big mistake. Nobody wins against the New York Times, okay? This becomes especially relevant when you remember the old story that we covered, okay? The headline, Blake Lively had engaged the CIA alum, okay, the crisis PR firm, in her battle against Justin Baldoni. And we went, that's very interesting that she did that. That Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are moving to hire a PR crisis manager. His name was Nick Shapiro. He was formerly of the CIA. He worked for the CIA's he was the CIA's deputy chief of staff, and he worked beneath their director, John Brennan, who's implausibly corrupt. Why did they engage this firm? Because, guys, I hate to tell you this, America's ghetto and corrupt. Like, that's reality. It's ghetto and corrupt. Like, that is the reality. And the New York Times is going to be the New York Times, and they know that they're going to be protected. And so the best way to think about this case is that the Justin Baldoni hit piece originated from the CIA-protected New York Times. So on June 10th, I wasn't shocked when Judge Lehman did what always happens in these matters pertaining to the New York Times/CIA lawsuits. On June 10th, he ruled that Justin Baldoni cannot sue Blake Lively after dismissing the New York Times one, that he cannot sue Blake Lively for defamation. He also ruled that Baldoni could not sue her for extortion. They're going to have to resubmit their lawsuit with anything pertaining to the New York Times or that could potentially implicate the New York Times removed from it. Like I said, America is ghetto and corrupt, and that is just a reality that we all should understand by now.